All right, guys, this is a special show. We're going to be talking about the draft, and we're going to be attempting to really interact with our audience, our people who engage us. And I got my Facebook connection right here set up also. And so my Facebook connection, I can see the comment. I'm gonna type in right now. What did everyone feel about the Kevin Durant trade? Well, Jeff, what do you feel? We've talked offline about it, but share with our audience.
Okay, basically how I feel about the Kevin Durant and quality, give up quality. Ain't just the trade for a quality guy and give up peanuts. Got to give up somebody. So quite naturally, some people are going to be upset by some of the people we gave up in the trade. But that's part of making trades. You got to give value for value. So you gave up Jalen Green, who's set to make $33.1 million this season. I think Houston came to the conclusion they didn't like he was worth the $33.1 million. And then, of course, it's going to escalate each year. Okay, and then in addition to that, you gave up Dillon Brooks, who's to make $21 million. So between Dillon Brooks, Jaylen Brown's $33 million, and Dillon Brooks, $21 million, that added up to $54 million. Well, that's exactly how much Kevin Durant was. So that's why it was so important that Dillon Brooks be a part of that trade, because you needed his salary in order to come up to what Durant's salary is. Because you have to understand, both Phoenix and Houston are over the NBA salary cap. So you have salary cap rules that you have to abide by. So that was the reason why Dillon Brooks had to be a part of this trade. In addition to that, Phoenix really didn't want Dillon Brooks. Phoenix wanted Jabari Smith. They also wanted Reed Shepherd, and they wanted Jalen Green. And Houston was not willing to give up Jabari Smith. And they were not willing to give up Reed Shepherd. So the only guy you can put in this trade was Dillon Brooks. So Houston basically got what they wanted out of this trade. They got Kevin Durant without having to give up those future number one picks. Remember, we have Phoenix's 2027 first round pick. And then we have Phoenix's 2029 first round pick. And Phoenix wanted those picks back in this trade for Durant. But Houston played hardball. And that's the reason why it took a while for this trade to go down. Because Houston played hardball, they didn't want to give up those two picks. I'm going to tell you why they didn't want to give up those two picks. Well, we'll explain it later. I'll explain it later. But there's a reason why they didn't want to give up those two other picks. Houston have some huge aspirations of what they're trying to do right now. But I'm going to let you guys talk, and I'll come back to that.
Hey, but I like the trade. Have you heard about the other trades? C.J. McCollum from New Orleans to Washington, I believe. But of course, Porzingis has been traded. Porzingis and Holiday for the Celtics have both been traded. So
here's a three-team
trades going down.
That was a three-team trade. Let me explain that trade to you. It was a three-team trade. The Hawks received big 7'3" Porzingis, along with a 2025 second-round pick. Along with the Nets, they got Terrence Mann plus a first-round pick in tonight's draft. And the Celtics picked up George Mian along with a second-round pick. The Celtics, like I told you guys a few weeks ago when we were over at that club, is that the Celtics are well over the luxury tax threshold, and they're trying to get rid of salaries. And that's what you have seen, them getting rid of Drew Holiday and then getting rid of Porzingis. Those guys were making like $30+ million a year. They trying to get from under that luxury tax. They was going to have to pay a luxury tax of $180 million. $180 million. And they didn't want to pay that again this year, especially with Jason Tatum not being available probably until the second half of the season, maybe even not until the end. So with that being said, why pay a huge $180 million luxury tax when you don't think you're going to be able to compete that well this year because your best player is going to be missing most of the season? So that was one of the main reasons why they decided to go ahead and make those two trades. And I expect Derek White to be. I hear Houston has some interest in Derek White, but I wouldn't go after Derek White. But They trying to move off some more salaries because they're still at that second. They come off that second luxury tax apron, but they still in that first apron. So they still trying to move another big contract. So that's what this is all about. Hawks got Porzingis. I like that trade for Hawks. If Porzingis can stay healthy to go along with Trae Young and those other guys, that's a good team. I like the Hawks. And then, of course, let's get Terrence Mann and a first round pick in tonight's draft. So I like that trade more for the Hawks than I did anybody else.
I don't see Porzingis being a quality player for the rest of his career. Now, when he's with Boston, he's with 2 All-Stars, and his deficiencies can be overshadowed. But for whatever reason, he couldn't mesh the second year. He got sick. He had illness, and it didn't work out, and they traded him. And we know they need a big man, but they traded him, and so they gave up on him. And I don't really see his career being anything else. This was his best opportunity. Now the Celtics got George Niang. That was a good pickup for them. He's a hard-boiled player.
Well, Porzingis is going to come down to health. Can he stay healthy? If he can stay healthy, that's a heck of a pickup for the Hawks. To pick up a 7'3" center with that skill set he has.
Yeah, but I don't believe he's even at 7'3", he can't carry your team anymore.
He doesn't have to.
I'm not sure he ever
could. Trae Young. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. Just
Trae Young can't carry the Hawks. He ain't got them into the playoffs in a long time. He's too short of a player. He's not great defensively. Okay. He's good, but they need much more than just Trae Young.
Okay. Also, the other trade was Portland receiving Drew Holiday for Anthony Simmons, along with 2 second-round picks. I like that trade. I like that trade for Boston. I mean, Boston picks up Simmons, and they gave up Drew Holiday's big contract. Drew Holiday is much older than Simmons. I think Boston won that trade.
I think Boston won in that trade too. Hey, Jeff, are you looking at the draft? Have they drafted Cooper Flag
I don't have the TV. I don't have the TV on, but I have it on my phone. I'm following it on the clock on my phone. I'm following it on the clock.
Have they drafted the first player yet?
Not according to this here, unless they late with the clock on here. Nope, it hasn't. They haven't made the first pick yet. No, according to this, the first pick has not been made yet. No, I'm following here. I'm following it right here.
So if you were Dallas, would you make a trade for either Anthony Davis or PJ Washington, somebody at the power forward? They got they got Derek Lively. They got what's the guy that came from Washington? They got that center, and then they got Anthony Davis. They got 3 center types.
Right.
Even though Anthony Davis wants to play power forward, but PJ Washington is at that position also. So one of those guys got to get moved, I believe. Especially if you want to make it more convenient for Cooper Flag. What'd you say?
No, Cooper Flag will come in and play small forward spot. Those other guys play the 4 and the 5 spot. Cooper Flag is going to come in and play small forward. That's not going to impact them at all.
The commissioner's heading to the podium now to make the first pick.
Okay. All right, there you go, Phil.
But don't forget that the 10th pick in the draft was given up for Durant too. Nobody said anything about that. Draft picks.
Yeah. That was part of the trade. Right.
I know, but you just talked about the players, not the draft picks included.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about the picks. All right, Phil wants to make sure we include everything. All right. In addition to Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, Houston gave him the 10th pick in today's draft, and they also gave up a total of 5 second-round picks. And one of the first second-round pick is going out in this year's draft. It's the 59th pick in the draft. Those second-round picks are going to be late second-round picks. Those picks, to me, have very little value. So I'm not worried about those.
Draymond Green was a 35th pick. Draymond Green was a 35th pick.
I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. That was during the day when
so you can't you can't disregard it as nothing. It's just nothing now. But
it's
later
just
on,
the value is not. I'll put it like this here. If they said, well, we're not gonna make this trade unless you give us those 5 second round picks.
Oh no. Like, nobody's complaining about that.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm talking about from that perspective. It's not.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
He's making a point that you can't rule out second round picks of not being successful in the league.
I was just saying, when's the last time the Rockets had a second round pick that made their team? Go back 20 years. I'm just saying.
That's bad
it's just
drafting.
a low probability. Huh?
That's bad drafting. There's second round picks that succeed all the time.
Right.
You don't pick them, that's your problem.
Okay, then that's their drafting. So they've been notoriously known for not getting value in the second round. So then the second round picks have no value to us because we don't get any value because we don't pick up good guys in the second round. I just
pointed out the fact that second round picks are valuable. I said the same thing you did about the picks being nothing now because you don't know who they are.
All I'm saying is that is not a deal breaker, giving up those 5 second round picks.
Nobody said it was a deal breaker. It was the deal is done. That doesn't matter. My point is, you pick second round picks of value. There are some second round picks who outshine first round picks. The Rockets may not have had success.
I can give you a perfect example. Patino Mobley was a second round pick back in '98. Houston had 3 first round picks. He outperformed all 3 of our first round picks combined.
Case closed. I rest my case. I was just saying.
But that was back when those guys were staying 3 and 4. Patino Mobley stayed in college like 4 or 5 years. That was back during the days when those guys were staying 3, 4, 5 years in college. These guys not coming out at age 19 now. They coming out after 1 year. So a lot of these guys, it's going to take a while. Those guys are going to be sitting in the G League.
You're still going to have some seniors who went to college for 4 years, who transferred now with the deal. There's going to be some of those 5 second round picks. I guarantee you 1 or 2 of them are going to be okay. We don't need them. We don't have. Look, Jim, you made your point. You got what you wanted in Durant. I'm just saying you have to make light of all the picks, all the parts that were involved in the draft, and don't gloss over them like, hey, we got what we needed. They didn't get nothing. That's 5 second round picks. Somebody would be glad to take somebody off of that team. And I always use Draymond as the litmus test of more recent. There's others. I didn't do my homework on all that. I just like to put the light out on one that has done well, is doing well, and is probably going to go in the Hall of Fame as a second round pick.
But look, how many guys have been drafted in the second round since Draymond Green was drafted some 15 years ago?
A lot of them did. And look, I'll get back with you on that, and I'll give you a litany of because I know they're there. I just haven't. I'm just saying, you made it very plain that, hey, them picks don't mean nothing. Yes, they do mean something. They don't mean nothing right now, but you don't know what they'll mean in the future because somebody's team may get solidified by a second round pick. It happens all the time. All the time.
My only premise is that somebody was complaining about the 5 second round picks.
And I agree with you 10 times over on that. Right now, it means nothing because you needed it to get what you wanted. Exactly. You got it. I'm just saying, if another team traded us 5 second round picks and you took them, you took them for a reason. And coaching has a lot to do with getting second round picks ready to play too. Some coaches like that. They can't coach nothing but 5-star, blue stars, superstars, and can barely do that. But the league is filled with lots of second round picks, undrafted free agents, I might add, who do justice to the league and to their teams.
Okay. All right. As we look at the team at the Rockets right now, this is what they have. They starting 5. Hold on. That's after they made a trade. They starting 5 right now.
With that roster constructed as it is now,
right,
he's going to need more scoring help. So they can't be finished right now. They can't be.
I'm going to tell you what I've heard, but I think that's going to be too much competition. What I heard is they going after Giannis.
That's okay.
They going after Giannis. But the only thing is that there's going to be a lot of competition for Giannis. More competition for Giannis trying to trade for Giannis than there was the teams trying to trade for Durant. Because Durant only said, I'm only willing to go to these 3 teams. Now, unless Giannis say, I'm only willing to go to these 2 or 3 teams, man, it's going to be wide open because I hear the Knicks trying to get him. I hear the Lakers trying to get him. I hear the Boston Celtics trying to trade for him. The Rockets trying to trade for him. This is what I'm hearing. The Rockets acquiring the Greek Freak, and they give up Şengün, Jabari Smith, and Jock Landale, and a first-round pick. Would you
I
make
don't
that
believe
trade?
that. I don't think. I think they have done what trading they're going to do, except for Lundell, because they might get a late first round for Lundell, because there's people that
No,
need center.
no.
You don't think so, Phil?
No.
Look,
I think he's better than most backups.
Look, back to something I spoke about
No.
earlier, which I just kind of listened to. Porzingis, how many teams has he been on already? Health or no health? Skill or no skill?
He's been on Dallas, New York, Washington Wizards,
okay,
Boston, and
Boston.
Atlanta.
And that's 15. My point. And that's my point. If you are value, you do not get moved like that. Okay. Second of all,
that's what I'm saying about Porzingis. He's not as valuable as, his 73 would say. But I think Lundell is a very salvageable player in the NBA.
He is, but he's not even good as Porzingis. I mean,
I think he is.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that.
He's the Davis Mills of the NBA.
If Porzingis is healthy, Landale can't carry his jockey strap.
I disagree.
I'm being honest. He can't carry his jockey strap. He can't even sit into the store for a jockey strap. Not for him.
Okay, the pick is about to be made, guys.
All right. You already know who's going to be the first pick.
Well, it's okay.
The question is who will be the second pick.
Cooper Flag just got selected by the Dallas Mavericks.
That's what we expected. Congratulations to that young man. Congratulations to that young man.
So, Jeff, are the Dallas Mavericks going to make any moves?
Say it again?
Are they going to make any trades?
I have no idea what the Dallas Mavericks are going to do. I can tell you what I think Houston going to do, but I can't tell you what Dallas is going to do. No.
Well, I think Dallas is going to trade Anthony Davis.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, that guy is their best player. Davis is their best player, man. That guy, when they trade for that guy, remember he played against Houston, that first game against Houston?
So what does that make Kyrie then when he's healthy?
Huh?
What does that make Kyrie when he's healthy?
Okay, I'm putting like this here. I'm not gonna say Kyrie is better. I say they both all-stars. They both all-stars, perennial all-stars.
Okay, but you didn't even mention Kyrie. You just said he's the best player out front. I just have to remind you, Kyrie's on that team.
Tied with Kyrie then. Okay, with Kyrie then. We put it like that. Tied with Kyrie.
I don't necessarily like Anthony Davis. I thought it was a travesty for him to be included in the 75 top players. That was a travesty.
No,
and they took out Bernard King, did not add Alex English, and you put in Anthony Davis.
But let me ask you a question. On Bernard King and Alex English in the top 50, they were in the top 50. Alex English was for sure. And Bernard King.
Even if they were, they took them out of the top 75.
Well, that's crazy. But they should.
I agree.
To me, that's like being in the Hall of Fame and then they take you out just because they want to put somebody else in.
You're out.
And that's crazy.
Right. That don't make any sense. That really don't make any sense. Why would they take people out?
Yeah, I never heard that.
I mean, go back and look at it. Go back and look at the top 75. You got James Harden, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul. Now, I really am not against Chris Paul, but, you putting these guys in just because they are current modern day players, and you taking out people like, they didn't have Bill Bradley in there. Bill Bradley was in the top 50. He won a championship. Alex English, he was one of the all-time players. But Carmelo Anthony, I don't believe Carmelo should have been in there. That's my opinion.
Dave DeBush is in there.
Yeah, he was in the top 75.
Next thing you gonna tell me, you think Robert Horry should have been in there?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. 7 championships.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he got 7 championships, but no.
He should be in the Hall of Fame, but not top 75. That's different.
Wait, you think Robert Horry should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Phil, what's your opinion on that, Phil? Robert
What?
Horry?
Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He's a little short.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see it. I don't see it. He wouldn't get my vote. He got 7 championship rings. Fortunately for him, but no.
Hall of Fame is different than top 75, though.
I'm aware, but he's still not a Hall of Famer. The guy averaged 12 points a game for his career, and you want to put him in a Hall of Fame because he got 7 rings?
Well, not just points. How many points did Dennis Rodman get?
Yeah, but Dennis Rodman was leading the league in rebounding. Horry never came close to leading the league in rebounding.
And was Defensive Player of the Year.
Exactly,
several times.
man.
Yeah.
It's comparing apples and oranges there. That's apples and oranges.
I still think winning means something.
It
means something as far as helping your accolades. Even as a sixth man, he was a winner.
He's a great player. He's a great player.
Okay.
He won all those rings. He earned them. They were not given to him, but he's not Hall of Fame.
He's not Hall of Fame. And he was at the right place at the right time, Carl. Think about it. When he got traded for Houston, they sent him to Phoenix. The only reason why he ended up winning championships with the Lakers is because he threw the towel in his coach's face. Coach Danny Ainge threw the towel in his face. Bad attitude, so they traded him, got him out of there. So he was lucky enough to get traded to the Lakers to go play with Kobe and Shaq. So after he didn't play with Clyde and Elijah Wayne got rings, now you go play with Kobe and Shaq.
Now you want to hear a borderline, You want to hear a borderline Hall of Fame player whom I love, but he's borderline, but he's in. In this Hall of Fame, we ain't talking about top this. He was in the top 50, maybe in the top 75 too. Matter of fact, he is in the top 75. Bill Walton.
Okay.
I mean, Ronnie Cycli's stats are as good as Bill Walton's. And Ronnie Cycli ain't finna touch the Hall of Fame. He don't have a championship. Right. Walton got 2, one which he really earned. But that's why I said he does deserve to be in there, but it's not like he's unanimous decision going in there.
I would put him in the Hall of Fame, but not the top 75. That's
you about Bill Walton? Bill Walton?
Yes.
Well, who would you put in over him? Name one player you would put in over him.
Well, because I would go with Artis Gilmore.
He should be in there. I could live with that.
Yeah.
I could live with that. He should be in there anyway.
I certainly would go with Bob McAdoo.
Wait a minute. McAdoo's in the Hall of Fame. You talking about top 75? I'd rather be in the Hall of Fame than the top 75. I'd rather be in the Hall of Fame. Top 75, that's superficial.
I agree with that.
Is finite.
I agree. I'd rather be a Hall of Famer. I agree with that. I don't know. Some people, you think it depends on your perspective, because Calvin Murphy's in the Hall of Fame, but he'll never be a top 25, 50, or 75, or 100.
He earned Hall of Fame, though, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. But the Hall of Fame is earned. It's not given. To me, top 75 is given. I mean, it ain't hard to get there.
Well, I think they made it a popularity contest, especially this 75.
The second pick is taking place.
No.
Dylan Harper went number 2.
Who's that?
Okay, Harper.
Dylan Harper and Ron Harper.
Dylan Harper from Rutgers.
Who did he go to, Phil?
San Antonio.
Oh.
That's a good pick. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, that's a good pick for them.
That's a good pickup.
Guys, I'm going to look back at our Facebook to see if we have any comments, because I'm putting some out there.
Okay. San Antonio's gotten pretty lucky. I mean, last year they were lucky enough to get the first pick. They draft
well no matter what.
Kawhi Leonard. They get lucky enough to get the first pick, and then they come back this year and get lucky.
Kawhi Leonard was a second-round pick, if I'm not. Well, I think he was first round. He was first round. If I'm not mistaken. Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah. He was Kawhi Leonard went 1 pick after the Morris boys. You remember the Morris boys, Markieff and Marcus?
Yeah.
Houston could have easily taken Kawhi. They wanted Marcus Morris. They went 13, 14, and 15. So Houston could have had him. He went 15.
Kawhi didn't have that reputation. We didn't know nothing about Kawhi.
Oh, I did. He was good in college. Oh, I saw him in college. He was. And he had a great camp for the pre-camp too, for the pre-draft. Oh yeah. Kawhi wasn't unknown. He went to San Diego, but he could play.
Okay.
Yep. Houston just missed out.
San Diego State.
More Marcus Morris.
Yeah, he went 15th overall. Yep. But I mean, that's a late first round. It's not lottery, so
that's not late first round. 15th.
Well, they got 13. To me, it's not lottery.
13 in the league. You call 15 late?
Okay, I rephrase it. It's not lottery.
Okay.
And I said late, but to me, he wasn't expected to do what he did, although he was a 15th pick overall. So,
okay. But I like what Houston's done. I mean, they re-signed Adams, Steven Adams to a 3-year, $39 million deal. They turn around and then Van Fleet was on his last year of his contract, team option at $44.9 million. And I'm like, there's no way they're gonna keep him at $44.9 million. I've been saying that for the last 2 months. There's no way they're gonna keep him at 44.9. So they turn around today and they re-signed Van Fleet for a 2-year deal, $50 million deal. The second year of that deal is a player option. So he can become a free agent next summer if he chooses. That is a player option. So he's set to make $25 million. So instead of him being on the cap for $45 million, he's on the cap for $25 million. So that saves him $20 million.
yeah,
so
but if
Houston
he
would have been
well, he's gonna get more than 25 that next year. No
we'll
matter
see.
where he goes. If he plays well and outplays that $25 million for the year, he's gonna get more than 25 options from the Rockets or somebody else.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get him somewhere else. I think by that time, they think Reed Shepard's going to be ready by that time.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But the money part is all I was aspect of when it came to him, because I didn't think they should have signed him in the first place, but he did play okay. I mean, he's all right.
Prior to re-signing him in Canada last year of his contract, the Rockets were in luxury tax. They were going to be paying the luxury tax. They were $8 million into the luxury tax. So they had to do that because they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. Some teams are determined to never have to pay a luxury tax, and some teams don't mind paying the luxury tax. So it depends on the owner. But I like the deal, re-signing Van Fleet. Of course, I like the Kevin Durant trade, and then I also like the fact that the Knicks was kind of trying to get Udoka. So Houston made sure that didn't happen. So Houston went ahead and signed him to an extension. So considering that offseason just started, the Rockets have been pretty busy. Re-signing the Adams and re-signing the coach and re-signing Van Fleet and trading for Durant. The Rockets have been busy. They've been the busiest team in the offseason so far. But now the question is this, guys. When I look at that second unit, they need another strong guard. So my question to you guys, if James Harden says, I want to come home.
No.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just giving you a quick answer.
Okay. You said no?
Yeah.
Is that what you think? Okay. If James Harden says he wants to come home, he wants to finish his career in Houston. Houston's already said they're going to retire his jersey. They've already made that determination. He will have his jersey retired here in Houston. So if he decides he wants to come home, and I already heard he does. If you're Houston and he's willing to be the sixth man, would you sign him?
It's a lot of ifs, Jeff, and none of them seem to be logical to me for a guy like him.
No, all of those are possibilities. He's a free agent. How is that not logical?
I didn't say what's your opinion?
Well, it's not logical that
obvious
as you making a backup role, Jeff.
Hold on. Y'all both talking at the same time. I don't know what y'all said.
It's not logical that he will accept a backup role.
I said if he decides to accept the six-man role, would you re-sign him? That's the question.
And I said that's a lot of ifs that may not be reality. Because, first of all, you're probably going to say Westbrook. I think I saw somewhere where you was asking about all those guys who's been here. You don't go backwards to have those guys on your roster when there's so many other guys you can get who will come in fresh and clean. And those guys are aging. Why get aging guys? None of them have won a championship either.
Okay, Carl, what's your opinion?
Well, I told you, man, if I'm sure he'll accept a backup role, I would take him.
Okay, I feel the same way. So me and I agree on that. Okay, now let's move on to the next guy. I'm also hearing, if it's not Harden, Russell Westbrook returning to Houston to play with Durant. Phil said no. Carl, what about you?
No.
No. Okay. So both of you say no on Westbrook. I'll take either one of them to come in and play with my second unit. I'll take either one of them to come in and play with my second unit. Let's say you got Harden. You would have Harden, Reed Shepard, Steve Adams, Cam Whitmore, Tara Eason, Nate Williams, Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday, and Jock Landale. That's your bench.
It's no sure thing. The guys you just named, they're not through yet. You kind of being premature to me because it's no guarantee all those guys you named. This is not a set roster right now. It's not.
I'm aware of that. I'm giving you a scenario, asking you what would you do what the scenario
Well, I
is.
gave you the answer. I told you
Okay.
no, I wouldn't bring them in for none of those guys. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But those still, since you bled out the rest of the roster, I just felt the rest of that roster is not necessarily going to be what we're going to see. Plus those guys you're talking about bringing in. So we don't know yet. Anything's possible. I never thought a guy like Dwight Howard would ever come in. Lo and behold, he ended up. So I'm never going to say never. It's just, in my opinion, I wouldn't want it. If I'm GM, I wouldn't do it. And as a fan, I don't like it.
Okay.
The only thing I'll say about James Harden is at one time he could have got the key to the city. Let's say he's realized his life was better here in Houston. He kind of expresses that. Mom cooked him home cooked meals here in Houston. Even though he's from Los Angeles, he was so, caught up into Houston lifestyle, he misses it. And he realized that he did not do well as far as his reputation and his respect in how he left Houston. And if he expresses, hey, I want to come back and redeem myself and play, again, a backup role, he would not start, but I would tell him, hey, if you beat out over a period of time, Fred VanVleet, I ain't got no problem starting it. That's the way I look at it. But I don't think at 35, he necessarily would be my best fit, unless he comes in incredible shape and, maybe loses some pounds, get some of that quickness back. But I still look at him as a great backup, 6-man off, as well as he agrees to an agreeable salary. He can't come in making $25 million. He got to take, a moderate amount. So all of those ifs, Jeff, I don't see James Harden doing that.
If he want to come to Houston, he can make it happen. All right, the third pick has been made by the Philadelphia 76ers, and they took B.J. Edgecombe, guard out of Baylor. So we threw 3 picks, guys. We threw 3 picks.
Who is this guy, Jeff? And where did he go?
He's a guard out of Baylor. I didn't see much of him this season. Huh?
He's tough. He's tough. He can put it in the hole. He can put it in the hole. They got something they need. They got something they need. The coach at Baylor has been able to put some guys in the league. If you look around and pay attention, all guards predominantly.
Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, they are all guards. Yep. So that we threw 3 picks
right now. Third pick, Jeff.
Huh? That was the third pick. That was Philadelphia. Yeah. The next pick is Charlotte.
They need some help.
And this guy's only 19 years old, too.
Yeah. A lot of these guys are 19 coming in after 1 year. 19
Jeff,
years old.
would you trade Embiid?
You talking to me? And what I trade Embiid if I'm Philly?
Yeah.
Depends on who I'm getting. If you're going to give me Jokic out of Denver, yeah, I'll trade Embiid for Jokic. Depends on who I'm getting.
Would you trade him for Giannis?
Ooh, yeah, because Giannis is more durable. Embiid gets hurt too often. So, yeah. Embiid gets hurt. He's always getting hurt. He always breaks down all the time. Can't depend on him. He's always breaking down.
I think his conditioning, he hasn't taken it serious. He just thinks he has the talent and he can go out there and do what he wants to. I don't think he is serious. He coming out saying he's the best big man of all time. And they put him in the top 75. He shouldn't have been in the top 75.
Okay. Embiid should have been in the top 75? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. He shouldn't have.
How long has he been in the league? How long has Embiid been in the league? I mean, we're talking about a guy averaging 30 points and about 11, 12 rebounds. I would have to see how long he been in the league,
I think 6,
7 years. 6 or 7 years.
I think maybe they're projecting based on what his career is going to look like. I think that's what they did with some of these guys. I really believe that's what they did with some of these guys.
Yeah, and I don't think that they should do that. In that case, Samson would have been, a top everything after his first and second year. But you see nobody mentioning him in the all time, and he could have very well been if he hadn't got hurt.
Yeah, if they'd have done it after 3 or 4 years, yeah, they probably would have had him up there. Yeah, if they'd have did it after 3 or 4 years. But if he left Houston, he wasn't the same. If he left Houston, he went to Golden State for Joe Barry. What they call him? Joe Bally cares.
Yeah.
And Sleepy Floyd. So anyway, he was never the same after that. But I like what the Rockets have done. I like what the Rockets have done, and I know they're not through. They are not through. I think they're gonna make another big trade, and I think they're gonna also pick up another guard in free agency. Whether it's James Harden or Russell Westbrook, whether you want him or not, I think one of those guys could be on the Rockets next season, playing with Reed Shepherd on that.
I don't believe. I would like to have Harden in the capacity I'm talking about, but I don't think the Rockets are going to make another trade except for they're going to, because Jock Landale is marketable for some teams who need a center, and I believe he's going to end up with some team.
Just so you know, Joel Embiid been in the league 10 years. He came out in 2014.
Ooh,
yeah, so he's long in the tooth already.
Okay. I didn't know he's been in the league that long, 10 years.
Yeah, he's long in the tooth already.
Okay. All right.
Jock Landale, that's your guy called. You gonna die on that hill?
Which one?
Jock Landale.
Yeah, you keep talking about Jock
Landale. I think he's good. He's the Davis Mills of the NBA. I give him his due.
Jock Landale is the third team center on the Rockets. Third team.
Look, Jeff. Let Carl have it. Now he struck out. Now he struck out, far as I'm concerned. Davis Mills, Clarissa Shields, Jock Landale. Strike 3.
Yeah. He's on probation.
Y'all just watch Jock Landale end up at a good team.
You just say what, Carl?
Hey, I respect that man's opinion, though. I respect
he's going to end up playing. Hey, remember Isaiah Hartenstein?
Oh, yeah, that's true. He was. Now, Hartenstein turned out to be a real, because he was here. They showed him no love. He went to New York, earned him a contract, and then go to Oklahoma City, of all places, and got a championship.
He went to the Clippers first.
Well, halfway he made it. He made his way to the right place.
Yeah.
Because he was nobody here.
Yeah.
Just like them. Now, if you want to use that as a template, I'll back off.
That happens with a lot of players. Craig Elo. Same thing happened with Craig Elo. He was
even undrafted, though. Craig Elo was a whole nother animal. Elo could play.
He was a third round. Elo could play. Houston drafted him in the 3rd round, and they cut him, and he went over to Cleveland and had an outstanding career with Cleveland.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but Elo could play. But he did play a little bit here, too. He could play.
Yeah.
I thought he was undrafted because he played, they treated him like he was, that's for sure.
Okay, so Phil, you're the GM of the Rockets. What would you do moving forward? What would you do the rest of the summer? What would you do?
Well, I'm going to go look for me some more players. And I'm going to look for some players who I can use. Look, Holiday, a guy like Holiday, but I'm going to look, if I'm the GM, I'm going to empower you to be my Daryl Morey to do my numbers. I know talent, you know numbers, you know talent too. But I'm not fooling with them. I just want the guys on the floor, so my coach has no excuse for putting a winning product on the floor. Okay? Because
I don't know talent. You have no numbers.
I said you know talent. Right. I didn't disagree.
Okay, I got
you. You weren't listening. I said you know numbers and you know talent.
All right. Okay. All right. That's cool.
I'm not a numbers guy. Never have been, never will be. But I do know what I like. And I'm not saying in an authoritative way that I know beyond measure, but I do know they need some help with what they got right now. You asked me what I would do going forward. I'm looking for me some better players. First of all, I'm going to tell you one of the things you asked me. Let me finish. You asked me one type of player I'm looking for that they don't have on the roster right now is an Otis Thorpe type player. I need somebody going to get me 10 rebounds, maybe 12, 14 points, 2 or 3 blocks, 2 or 3 assists, and a couple steals. And I can count on him for 82 games. Name one player on the hold on, Jeffrey. Hold on. Slow your horses. Hey, get off that horse for a second. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Silent. I'll be radio silent. What player on the roster do they have like that?
No one.
Thank you.
No one.
I'll be looking for. You asked me a question, I answered it. I'm done.
Okay. All right, my brother. All right. All right. Who's okay? Where we up now? Let's see. Where we at now? Let's see. I gotta refresh. Because I'm not watching it on TV. Hold on. Okay, they still okay. The fourth pick is in. The fourth pick. Ooh, they took the guy from Duke.
Nepal. I wasn't impressed with him all that much.
Yeah, he went fourth. Ooh, that other guy from Rutgers still on the board. Oh, yeah. That's the guy that won't go walk out. He won't.
They said he was going to drop a little bit. I don't know why, but
because he won't work out teams. There are teams he won't work out for, and he's kind of like the Sanders guy. You know, they go in and they say things and they rub people the wrong way. Well, this guy, he won't work out for certain teams. He won't work out for them, and he's rubbing people the wrong way. He won't work out.
Basketball ain't the same as football. You can hire somebody on the football team. It's hard to hire somebody on the basketball team since there's only 12 players, 13 to a team, and he's going to shine. So somebody's going to get a gift.
But it's much easier to disrupt the team when you only have 5 players starting. Your energy can disrupt the team even more in basketball and football, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you can hire somebody, but you can hire somebody a lot easier on the football team, bro.
That's true.
You can hire them you can't hire them as easy on the basketball court.
Y'all both really making the same point. Y'all making the same point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said that thinking you can be more disruptive when it's only 5 guys. I get that. But at the same time, if you got talent, you're going to play.
I agree.
That's how they
look at a player like DeMarcus Cousins, who was immeasurably talented, but his attitude limited his career totally.
But he played everywhere he went. He over in Puerto Rico acting a fool. But he could play. He played everywhere he went. He was a main cog everywhere he went, although his attitude was bad.
If his attitude was just decent, he would be one of the top 75.
Probably, yeah. But his Achilles really ran him out at the end because he didn't have nothing left after that.
Understood.
Yeah.
Also, in addition to that, Kyrie Irving is out, of course, with his ACL. Won't be back in probably to the second half of the season, but he signed a 3-year, $119 million deal today. So that's what, $40 million a year. $40 million a year.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got going on. But anyway, I really, truly like what the Rockets have. I don't really think they need to make any more trades. I just like to see them add another guard to that second unit to give that second unit a little bit more thump, whether it's Russell Westbrook or James Harden, or whoever. Just somebody who can come in and put up some numbers and who can put his teammates in the right positions.
I still think you're doing wishful thinking, Jeff. I don't think Harden at 35 is going to accept being a backup, as well as he's not going to accept less salary. He would have to accept both of those things, and I don't think he's going to do that.
Okay, all right, then hold up. Let's say you bring Harden back, all right, and you decide you're going to put Armand Thompson. Let Armand Thompson come off the bench or Jabari come off the bench. Let's say you start Durant and Thompson and Şengün up front and James Harden and Van Fleet in the backcourt, and you bring Jabari Smith off the bench as a 6th man. How about that?
You adding Harden in, and he's not going to accept that.
No, he's going to be starting. He's starting.
A whole lot if he agrees to it.
He's starting, Paul. Okay, so he said he's not going to accept what?
Say what?
He's not going to accept what?
Well, he's not going to accept the salary. He's not going to accept being a 6th man. He wants to start.
I just said we're going to start him, and we're going to bring Jabari, make Jabari Smith the 6th man. So he's starting in the backcourt now.
No, if I'm the coach, I would not start out doing that. He would have to earn that over time. But I'm going to tell him, when I sign him, I'm expecting you to be a backup. I don't think he'll come in with that. Okay. I'm not going to give him a starting position unless he earned it.
Okay. Well, what if he comes in training camp and earned it? Then he's starting.
Okay. But when he comes in, I'm telling him, I'm looking at you as a potential backup. So I'm telling him that. So he's not guaranteed a starting position. Is he going to come here in that context? That's what I'm saying.
Would you guys do Şengün, Reed Shepherd, and Jabari Smith for the Greek Freak?
No.
Okay. Phil?
For that, I mean, you got to get some accessory players coming in with him too, because you're depleting your roster with three. Who you said? Jabari Smith, Sagoon, and Reed Shepherd.
Yeah. For the Greek Freak.
Yeah, you got to give me at least one or two picks, one or two players to go with that. I might could swing that, but I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's doable. It makes sense. Just like you matched up the Durant trade, money for players, stuff like that. You probably can make some more. You got a decent little roster. They got a kid, McConaughey. You could get him. A couple other players. Yeah, you might just swing it like that. You know, like that.
Yeah, you can always pick up free agents.
Yeah, Jeff, I think this is what that team would look like. The chemistry thing.
Let me say this real quick. If Durant was coming here and if he was a free agent, the team we currently have constructed, it would be blissful. Because then he could teach and grow, and because he's not a point your finger leader, he's not your beat your chest leader. He won those championships with some great players and great coaching, a great organization. He's not coming into that this time. He hadn't gone to that in New Jersey. He hadn't gone to that in Brooklyn. He didn't go to that in Phoenix, and he ain't coming to that in Houston.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to work with him too. I mean, he's gonna do well. I'm gonna root for the Rockets, rain, sleet, or snow. I'm just saying I think they could have been a little more calculated in how they went about it. And what they had was not a crime, but they did make Jalen Green a scapegoat, in my opinion.
They did. And I kind of feel bad for Jalen a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him a little bit, but he earned a little bit of that scapegoat.
Yeah, he did. That's all agreeable. But every team, say Alexander, they got beat in the first round, second round last year when they had a big lead. I mean, it takes time. You have to keep teams together. They got a 2-year window with Durant. 2-year window, maybe. And I can't see him winning a championship in 2 years. It takes longer than that sometimes.
Whoa, you don't think they're going to win a championship with Durant?
No. Not as the team is constructed right now.
Okay, so let's say they make that trade I just proposed. You gave up Shingun,
Reed Shepherd. Anyway, you can get Durant and Giannis together, they'll win. Okay, that's different. Okay. That's a whole nother animal.
This is your starting five. If you make that trade, you got Durant at one forward, the Greek Freak at the other forward, and you got Steven Adams at center with Armand Thompson and Fred VanVleet in the backcourt. I would love that. My goodness.
No, see, my thing with that, it would be the chemistry. I mean, you got great talent, but the chemistry would have a problem. I think.
Why would you think that? Why?
It takes time to build chemistry.
Okay, then take time. You got the whole summer.
A year or two, but I wouldn't think they'd do it in a year. I still don't think they would do it in a year. It's very seldom you flip the script that fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It happens. You have to have at least a core group of guys that would be helping you get there, and you just traded 2 of those.
See, the Rockets got some core guys. You got Amen Thompson, you got Fred VanVleet, and you got Shingun. That's the core.
They still need another year or 2 together, though. They're not ready.
All right, the fifth pick in the draft.
They just got a taste of the playoffs. I mean, come on.
The fifth pick in the draft goes to the Utah Jazz. They took Ace Bailey, guard, out of Rutgers.
There you go.
So 2 Rutgers guys went 2 and 5 respectively. So wow, Rutgers.
And then you got Duke guys went what? 1 and 4, 1 and 3, 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
A lot of help.
Yeah, but Knipple's not. I mean, I think the NBA gonna be a real shock for him. He's gonna be reduced to what Duke players normally are like when they get drafted a lot of times. Not saying the same thing about the big boy. He may be a little different. But Knipple, yeah, he'll be okay, but he's not gonna be on the ESPN highlights every night. I mean, he's not gonna be rookie of the year, nothing like that, as high as he was picked.
So we threw 5 picks. We threw 5 picks. Any other guys that you guys would like the Rockets to pick up? Okay, because I said they need another guard. So I said Westbrook or Harden. You said no, Phil, to both. Anybody you have in mind, Phil, that you want to pick up as a guard?
No, I'm still looking at a guy that's going to give me some inside presence to make them a little more solid.
Are you talking about in the draft?
No, any kind of way.
No.
They have no draft
We don't
picks.
have any draft picks, Carl.
They don't have any draft picks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, at some point along this journey with Durant being here, you're going to need an enforcer, somebody who's brutal, tough inside, who can play,
you got Steven Adams,
who can shoot. You have nobody like that in the roster. Who you got like that right now?
You got Steven Adams. Okay, so you saying
Adams is a center.
Huh?
Look, if you get 5-6 rebounds, if you get 10 points, couple of blocks, he is who he is. I'm not talking about him. They signed him.
So you're talking about a power forward and not a center?
No, not a center.
Okay. All right.
No. Because if you don't have a Giannis or Embiid, to be honest with you, some guys who are really dominant, you don't have a center. He's just a guy that's a center. I mean, he comes in, he did good in the playoffs. He did good. He protects your team from a lot of easy baskets. He does do that.
And he sets a lot of good picks for your guard.
You need those. You need those, but let's be real. He missed all this time, too, being hurt. He's up in age, too. He ain't no young spring chicken. I'm somebody young, vibrant.
He didn't get hurt this year. He played all this year.
Who's the guy? Jason Collins. That'll be a guy I was talking about. Yeah, he played. What did he didn't play? He missed some games early in the year. He wasn't there all year.
Okay, so I was talking about free agents. So you actually talking about trading for Jason Collins, huh?
No, I'm just giving you an example of the kind of guy I'm talking about. Somebody 6'7", 6'8", run the floor, give you. I mean, Amon Thompson is a perimeter guy. Let me tell you something. Eason and Jason and Amon, Amen, whatever. If you got guys killing you, you saw how he guarded Curry. He didn't stop him, but he was a nuisance.
Right.
Those two guys are good. I don't know too many teams got two guys like that.
I agree. I think we are right at the 4 or 5 spot. I mean, you have Şengün, you have Adams, you have Landale, and then at the power forward, you got Jabari Smith, you got Tara Eason, you got Jeff Green. You 3 deep at both of those spots.
Well, we'll just keep all those guys though. They'll drop guys, as you can see already. They're not afraid to get rid of guys. So let's just kind of wait and get this thing closer to the fall to have our little thinking hats on a little tighter. Right now, it's fluid. You don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, so we threw 5 picks right now. Okay, while we waiting on the next pick, let's talk WNBA. What is going on? Why is it every time your girl Caitlin Clark gets fouled, it's all over ESPN, it's all over the place, it's all over the internet, and everybody is fussing about it. Look how they found it, look how they doing it, look how they treating her.
So are they being extra physical? I hear out of all of
it's just basketball.
Yeah, but out of all of the technical fouls, 17 are against her. Look like, some people are going out of their way to, hit on her and so forth because they are jealous. You know how women can get.
I watched the game last night and she didn't have that issue. They won and she only had 6 points. That ain't gonna happen often. And she had a lot of assists. She handled the ball. They was being physical with her. She understood. She was laughing at some of it.
It seems like every time they fall, there's a hard fall. It's all over the internet and it's all over Facebook. Man, trust me. I made a comment. I'm serious on the Rocket site, and that was the situation where Caitlin pushed Angel Reese down, and Angel Reese got up. She was upset. Do you know people on there was mad? I said, well, she did push the girl down. I'm a racist.
I saw that scene. It was a normal basket,
man, these people.
It was a basketball play. She didn't intentionally push her down.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I disagree.
There was 2 angles. The first angle, I didn't think she pushed her down.
And she admitted she did. She called it a basketball play, but she wasn't going to give up that layup because what happened, Angel actually pushed her teammate, but she didn't push her hard. The kind you get away with or the kind of ref get you and say, I got you. But she just wanted to make sure you saw, and she expected retaliation because she was looking like, and she looked back, she turned her back. She was inspecting it. But anyway, the guy from UT just went to the Washington Wizards.
Trey Johnson.
He's good.
That's a good
I
guy.
watched him
That's
a lot.
Player.
He was the best freshman in the SEC. That says a lot right there.
Yeah, good pick. That's a good pick for them. They needed a good player.
They got a lot of good picks. They can't do nothing with them. But yeah, I like Caitlin Clark. I'm be honest, I do. But I just think she got the league on her side, and she knows that. But last night they put some defense on her, bro. Seattle Storm, and they won going away.
The point I was trying to make is that these people are really rabid fans of hers. I mean, you talk. I'm serious. I'll be sitting there reading the comments, and these people are going at it. You got blacks and whites going at it over Caitlin Clark, and I'm like, what is going on?
Dude, Trump got rabid fans too. What you think gonna happen in this country? Trump got rabid fans too.
Dude, they going at it.
You saw him cuss on TV the other day, and there's some people saying, "Hey, that's okay." No other president I know of did it.
When I got called a racist just for pointing out the fact, well, she did push her down.
She did. You're right.
How about racist for pointing out what happened? Man, these people, they serious. They
are very serious.
I have never seen one player command that much respect from the fans. As far in WNBA.
She's realistic about it. She knows who her bread and butter is, her teammates and the other women that went before her. That's what I do like about her. She's not stupid. She got good sense. She can't do nothing about them people feeling the way they do about her. But I know one thing, Seattle held her down real good last night.
Yep, they did. And Angel Reese has been playing well lately. She got to a slow start to the
good basketball player. I mean, her teams, she played well at Maryland. She played well at LSU. She is who she is. She's not a three-point shooter. She plays down low. She's in there battling with women bigger than her. And she's doing a good job. She's not quite like your girl at Las Vegas. She's not nowhere near that. But she's not far behind for us, just giving me effort, giving me consistency. And I know I can depend on her to be a leader. She is that.
Her team ain't that good, though.
No, the team is horrible. But they'll get better because the more they lose, the better draft picks they get, and they keep the core together. That's how teams get better. And maybe sign 1 or 2 free agents. Matter of fact, one of the better free agents who signed with Indiana, she left the team. Bonner. She out of there.
Yeah, she sure did. I think they should have kept that coach. I think they should have kept the coach last year.
Yeah, they should.
I think it was a bad decision getting rid of the coach.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah. Well, right now we 1/3 through the WNBA season, and you got the Minnesota Lynx sitting at 12-2. You got the Liberty sitting at 10-3. You got Phoenix at 11-4, and Atlanta at 10-5. I'm looking at Golden State. That's the expansion team. They sitting at 7-6. That's pretty good for expansion team. 7-6.
They got some good players.
What's going on with Las Vegas? They sitting at 6-7. What's going on with Las Vegas?
Complacency has set in, and they traded Kelsey Plum, which was not good.
Okay. Well, what did they get for her? Did they get any value for her?
I don't remember, but just getting her out of there was not good.
Because she's averaging 20 points a game.
Exactly, for the Sparks. And she can play. Bottom line, she can play. And they needed her. Chelsea Green is still there. She's still good. They still got somebody. But them two together were dynamite.
Well, last night, Angel Reese had 18 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. I'm like, come on, Angel.
Because she plays basketball. She just plays the game. That's what she does. She's not.
I say Angel.
She's not.
Because she's a Facebook friend of mine, one of them sites, a friend of mine. I said, Angel, this is what you need to do. Stay out of the mirror. Stop looking at your phone. Marcia, she's on, what's it called? And she's like to sit looking at the phone. And I'm like, every time I see her, she's looking at the phone, taking pictures. I say, get out of the mirror. Stop looking at yourself in the mirror. Stop taking all these pictures, posting all these pictures of you on Instagram and all over the place. And get in the gym and work on your game.
Yeah. Give her a break. They finally won a game. They haven't won no games. Give her a break.
She's so in love with herself. She's like, she just means arm herself. Like, okay, you good looking, but play basketball.
Girl, that's a part of her. That's a part of her DNA, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. But it's just that every time I look up on my screen, I'm serious. On my screen, she comes up like I'm like, that she is again. Give me a chance to miss you, Angel. Give me a chance to miss you. She's just wow. She's all over the place. Bless her heart. All right, baseball. Real quick, we'll cover baseball. Just real quick, the Astros sitting at 46-33. So the Astros have won 11 of their last 14 games. So I will admit, I'm impressed. 46 and then 46-33 with 4.5 game lead on Seattle. So I will say I'm really impressed with the Astros are doing.
I still can't get over that ballpark name, Dakin Park.
You got enough money, you can name it Paul Baruti Alexander Park.
That's true. Exactly. Exactly. Who do you think got the best record in baseball right now? Let's see if somebody can guess. Who can guess?
Say what?
Who got the best record in baseball right now? Huh?
American League or National League? American League or National League?
Either league.
Overall, no.
Overall. The whole
you
league.
said overall, and I asked you which league are they in, and I might be able to tell you better because I'm not going to act like I'm a authority on it right now.
All right, we'll do it like that. Okay, in the American, over in the American League.
No, you said best overall over both leagues. All I asked you was which league are they in? Are they in the National League or the American League?
No, I'm asking you who you think got the best record in the league right now.
Okay, Jeff. We're talking apples and oranges. I get your question. Okay, listen a little more than you saw. And I asked you to tell me if the team that has the best record, which league are they in? American League?
I don't want to tell you that. I don't want to tell you that.
Then I can't answer your question.
Okay, I'll give you the clue. Okay, I'll give you the clue. It's the American League.
Thank you. And I still may get it wrong. And I'm okay with that. Okay? But if I had to guess, being in the American League right now, Detroit Tigers.
Hello, you better not be looking at your phone. You better not be looking at your phone.
I've been looking at the whole screen the whole time. You've been looking at I have not looked at my phone. All I asked you a simple question, I answered it. I asked you which league, which team, and when I answered it, you drew numb and radio silent. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Okay, I did not look at my phone. I didn't need my phone. I got what I needed. I needed to know which league that they had.
All right.
And you know why? And you know why? You know what else is going on? That proved that the manager that was here when they was cheating can still manage. Because that was a shambles team when he got there. They were the worst team in the American League and in all of baseball. So that lets you know he went and helped that organization get better. Nobody ain't got no scandal to put on him this time. And he has one of the best pitchers in all of baseball going for him.
What's his name again, Phil?
Can't think his name right now. I just know he's the same manager that we had. I'm drawing a blank. But I do know this, he can manage, obviously, because he's taking what they gave him in Detroit, which was trash when he got there.
All right, guys. We're 7 picks into the draft. Jeremiah Fears just went off the board. He went 7th. So we threw 7 picks now.
Where's he from, and then where did he go to?
He went to OU. They say who drafted him. I can't see that. He went to Oklahoma.
He went to OKC?
Did you know toenail fungus had?
No, he went to Oklahoma. He played for Oklahoma. He went to I can't see that.
He was a true freshman. He was a guard. He was very good. But he played out of control a lot whenever I saw him. He's either really on or kind of a little shaky, but he can play. He's not that big and strong either. He's going to grow into it.
Okay.
Yeah, he can get to the basket. They're showing highlights right now.
So with that being said, we threw 7 picks. Something else I was going to ask you guys about. I lost my train of thought now.
Jeff, we set up till 8:30.
I know what I was going to ask you. Okay, I know what I was going to ask you. They was kicking around this idea yesterday on on ESPN. They saying that based on where things are right now in the NBA, who you think, if there was only one more ring to be won between these 3 guys, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant, Which one of you guys? Which one you think will win the championship? If there's only one more championship will be won between those three. Curry. Okay, so you're saying Curry. You think Golden State will have a better chance of winning the championship than Houston? Okay, Carl, what's your guess on that one?
Out of those three,
yeah,
I have to say the Rockets because they have the better team of those teams.
I would say the Rockets as well. I would say the Rockets as well. I guess it's going to depend on what Golden State does in the offseason because I think the Rockets right now are better than Golden State.
You didn't say when the ring was going to be won. You just said what time is left. All three of those guys don't have a lot of time left.
That's true.
So, which one, who you think will win a ring? Only one of them can win a ring. Which one do you think has the best
team? I'm not backing down.
For Curry. Okay, so maybe
that's who I think.
Right. Okay. And then Carl and I said Durant, which is strange because no one picked LeBron. That's strange when considering he got Luka there. I'm surprised no one picked LeBron.
He needs a lot more help, and I think they're in trouble from a coaching standpoint to some degree.
I think they're in trouble from a defensive standpoint as well as LeBron and Luka really are not a match together. You got to get some big men and some role players. Some good role players.
Jeremiah Fears from Oklahoma went to the Pelicans. To the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah. Brooklyn's on the clock.
I watched him a couple times this year. He's not bad. He's just kind of up and down.
The Pelicans just made a big trade.
Oh, they did? They traded Jeremiah?
No, they played it. No, I'm talking about trading CJ McCollum.
Oh, okay. Right now, Brooklyn Nets, the 8th pick is on the clock right now.
Well, Jeff, it's 8 something, and I have it set up for 8:30.
Okay, y'all want to go all the way to 8:30? I mean,
it's already 8:09, Jeff.
Huh?
How about let's do about another 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. 8:15. Let's pull up at 8:15. I think that's good enough. 8:15 is good enough. One other topic. This is something that came up, and they were talking about it on Sports Sun. They were talking about ring culture. Ring culture. How some guys get talked about and ranked on because they didn't win a ring. Like Charles Barkley, they give him a hard time. They really give him a hard time, especially on TNT. They always go on him. Well, you don't have no rings. You don't have no rings. You don't have no championship. You're not a good player. It's because he don't have no rings. I mean, he wasn't a great player. So this ring culture.
But they both know that when they say that, though. They know that.
Right. So this ring culture, how important is it? What would you rather, be a great player and never win a ring, or be just an average, marginal to slightly above a marginal player and win 5 or 6 rings? Which one would you rather?
You say what now? What's that?
What would you rather? Be a great player and win no rings, or be a marginal, or slightly above marginal player and win 4 or 5 rings?
I'd rather be a slightly marginal player and win 4 or 5 rings.
Okay, what about you, Carl? Is he there?
I'd rather be a great player that wins a couple of rings.
That's not the you don't want to take that.
I changed the criteria.
That wasn't the question. The question was asked. You got to answer the question. You didn't answer that question. You answered a different question. All right.
Well, I added it in.
No, they were talking about ring culture. They were talking about ring culture. How some guys look down upon.
If I'm a great player and I'm helping lead my team, we're gonna win a ring. So if I'm that great player, we're gonna win a couple of rings because I'm good and I can inspire my teammates.
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this here. Okay, I'm gonna change it up just a little bit. Who would you rather be, Charles Barkley or Robert Horry?
Robert Horry.
That's easy.
That was the question right there. You see how I simplified it? Now you was able to answer that question a lot easy. Okay.
I knew from the jump street. I told you I said marginal. And when you put it in perspective with a place, person, and name, all those places Robert Horry won. And the thing is, he won them in what, 3 different places?
Yep.
Houston, San Antonio, and LA. I mean, come on.
But Robert was lucky enough to go to the right teams. Think about it. He played with great players. Houston, Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, but he wasn't
LA.
But he wasn't a bench warmer. He started, he was 6 man, and he contributed. He made plays. Huh?
I didn't say nobody gave him the ring.
No, I didn't say you did. I'm just emphasizing why his rings are different than some guys who got almost as many as he did, and you don't even know they got them, but they got them.
And you can say that he contributed in each place. He contributed to winning.
He did. I just said that. He did.
Yeah, he contributed. You can point to buckets or something that he did that you can in each situation.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I still think that I would rather be a great player, 15-time NBA All-Star, in the top 50 as far as the best players ever played the game, et cetera, and have made $120 million as opposed to being a Robert Horry who made maybe $20 million and got 5 or 6 rings.
Well, that goes back to your personality.
So you rather be Charles Barkley then?
In that scenario, I'd rather be the guy who was a great player as opposed to a guy who's lucky enough to be
You gave all the other ones a connotation. Take that one. Charles Barkley. He was everything you just said. Everything you just said fit Charles Barkley. And
even a Karl Malone. Karl Malone.
Him too. And Charles even had a better career after his career doing announcing. Yeah, Karl Malone could be a bad boy.
Yeah. Karl Malone was a bad boy. He was a number 3 scorer in the entire NBA history of the NBA. That was a bad boy. He has no ring.
And he had a good college career.
Dominique Wilson.
Yeah.
Dominique Wilson, no ring. So you tell me you'd rather be Robert Horry. So you'd rather be Robert Horry than Karl the Mailman Malone.
I'd rather be Robert Horry than all those guys, based on the fact that he got 7 rings. He played with some of the best places, and I guarantee you he made more than $20 million. I guarantee you he made more than that. He didn't make what they made, but he made good money.
He might not have made more than 20.
Huh?
He might not have made
more than that, bro.
Maybe 25. He didn't make a whole lot, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying. All right. Call it is 8:07. Who we got left? Let's see. Who just made another pick? Somebody else just made another pick. Igor Denham, guard from BYU, just went to the Brooklyn Nets. Now that would have been Houston's pick, that Brooklyn Nets pick. But last summer, you remember Houston traded their picks that they had gotten from Brooklyn in the James Harden trade. They traded those picks for the picks that Brooklyn had gotten from Phoenix in the Durant trade to Brooklyn a few years back. So that would have been Houston's pick right there, number 8. Hadn't Houston not made that trade last summer, they would have been picking 8 right there.
And Jeff, you was looking at his net worth. I'm talking about what he made over the course of his career. His net worth may be $20 million, but he made more than $20 million over his career.
All right, so we threw 8 picks, guys. Let's go about another 7 minutes and then we can call it a day. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Let's see. What else? Let me see if I got anything else. I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about. And we threw 8 picks. Hey, Carl, is there any questions on the board? Anybody? No one posed any questions?
Not last time I looked. Let me look again.
Let me go. I look. Hold on. See if there's any questions. I don't want to come off.
He made over $53 million in his career.
Robert Horry made over $53 million?
Yes, sir. I told you he made more money. His net worth may be 20, but he made over $53 million in salary.
Okay, let's see.
The last thing I want to talk about, Jeff, is international basketball. Now, has it been confirmed that the next All-Star game will be USA against the world?
Yeah, last I heard, that's what the deal is. Yeah.
That's what I heard also.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I actually like that setup.
Well, they had to do it.
I had a question on like the magic numbers.
Carl, you say it's on the site? I don't see it. It's on the site.
What's on the site?
The show tonight. Is it on the site? I don't see it.
I thought so.
I'm looking. I don't see it on the site. So maybe that's why we don't have any questions, because I don't see it on the site. No, I don't see. I don't see it on the site. Okay, it's not there. I was just checking to see if there was any questions. Anybody had posted any questions, but no, it's not there. Okay.
It should be. I got a Facebook. I didn't transfer it. That's what happened. So
okay,
it's on my site.
Yeah, it's not there.
Transfer it real quick.
Oh, it's on your site. It's on your personal site. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well, that's why we don't have any questions coming in, because it's not there.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right. All right. With that being said, anything else, guys? A final word? Any final word?
No, Jeff.
Let me see. Let me see where we are now in the draft. Let's see. We still through 8 picks. Let me refresh. All right. We're still through 8 picks. We're still through pick 8. Okay. Just trying to see if there was anything else I wanted to point out. But guys, I expect a lot. Remember, NBA free agency starts on Monday night. And I expect a lot of movement. I expect a lot of trades is going to be made. And I expect a lot of free agents is going to be switching teams. So it's going to be very interesting. Come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to hear a lot of guys signing. Now, they can't sign the contracts, but they can agree to terms. So you're going to be seeing a lot of that early next week, guys agreeing to terms with new teams. So it should be very interesting. But I know what the move that Houston made, getting Kevin Durant, is going to put some pressure on some teams to want to keep up with the OKC Thunder and with the Houston Rockets. So you're going to see some teams that's going to be out there trying.
It's on there now, Jeff.
Huh?
The main pick just got made, the kid from South Carolina.
Yeah. Colin Murray Boyle. Right.
Yeah.
It's on there now, Jeff.
Say what?
It's on there now.
Okay. I thought Houston might take him. Colin Murray Boyles at number 10. Now, of course, that was before we made the trade. That's when we had the 10th pick. Actually, we still have the 10th pick, but that's only because the trade cannot be official until July 6th, because they have to wait until the new NBA season starts, because Jalen Green's contract right now, he's still on the books at around $12 million. So you couldn't make that trade. You got to wait till the new year start, which is first week of July. And that's when his salary goes up from $12 million to roughly about $33 million. Then that's when the trade can be officially consummated. So that's where we are on that. So Houston will be making the next pick for Phoenix. So I really thought Houston had a chance to get Colin Murray Boyles, but he went 9th, so he wasn't even on the board. So I don't see anybody on the board that I wanted. Everybody that I had interest in and Houston taken.
Walter Clayton.
Huh?
Yeah, he's not bad. He's a good pick.
The boy from Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Oh, he's still on the board. Yeah, he's still on the board. What's his name called? The boy from Florida. What's his name?
Walter Clayton Jr.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Okay, he's still on the board. He has not been drafted. So they threw 9 picks. We'll do one more pick, the 10th pick, and then we'll go up there.
All right.
I really, but like I say, I expect a lot of movement. A lot of guys will be changing teams. Like I say, you got teams that's going to be trying to get under the luxury tax threshold, like Boston. The moves that they made, it's got nothing to do with them improving the team. It's got everything to do with them trying to save luxury tax.
But after you save luxury tax, which is nothing wrong with that, you better try to get better, because the East is not going to be an easy. It's a Rubik's Cube coming up.
I don't know, because Indiana's going to be missing Halliburton, and then Milwaukee's going to be missing Dame because he's out, and then Boston's going to be missing Jason Tatum. I think this is the perfect time to seize the East, because you got 3 key players out for 3 of your better teams.
That just made my point. That makes everybody damn near on the playing level. It's not, you can't say definitively none of them teams are not going to be good, though. Indiana's still going to be good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree, but they're going to miss Halliburton. They're going to miss Halliburton. And Boston's going to miss Jason Tatum.
Look, they had a 50-50 chance of winning that game if he don't get hurt. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit off. But they're going to be okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. So, right now, the Rockets are on the board to pick for the Phoenix Suns. After they make that pick, then I guess we can go off the air. See anything else? I don't see anything. I think we've discussed everything. I know who on the board. Oh, I thought he'd have been off the board by now. That center from Duke.
Yeah,
that 7'3" guy.
I like him too. I like him.
He's still on the board.
Yeah. I take him before I take Walter Clayton.
Ooh,
for the Rockets' sake. For the Rockets' sake, I would take him.
Wow. I wanted him, but I didn't think he'd be there at 10. So Phoenix got a chance to get him. Phoenix they need a center. It's gonna be interesting to see if they take him. Because they need a center.
I can't wait to see who they take. They want a number 10 pick. Let's see what they're gonna do with it.
It makes sense for them to take the boy. The boy 7'3" from Duke. He's still on the board at number 10. That'd have been useful.
I like him.
I would have loved to have gotten him, but I didn't think he'd be on the board at 10. I don't think Houston thought he would be on the board at 10. That's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see if Phoenix gonna take him at 10. Still waiting on the pick. The Rockets are on the clock picking for Phoenix. I'm curious to see if they're gonna take the center from Duke.
Curious to see who they're gonna take. Period. This is Phoenix pick, like you said. It's not a Houston pick.
Right.
So
right.
We shall see. But they're trying to compare this kid out of South Carolina to Draymond Green.
Oh, really?
That's what they're saying. That's what Bob Myers, who drafted Draymond Green, is trying to say. He's on the panel here on TV, him and Stephen A. But like I said, all draft picks have one thing in common. They plan on potential, and potential means you haven't done anything yet. It takes time to develop. We'll figure it out. Now, of course, LeBron hit the NBA right out the box running. Of course, he got better over time, but he still was right in the mix from day one. Not too many guys do that. Magic hit the door running. No questions. Isaiah Thomas hit the door running. I mean, some guys can do it and some guys can't. Takes time.
A lot want to hit the ground running.
A lot of them don't.
Yeah, Raph did.
A lot of bust.
Yeah. Still waiting on Houston to pick for Phoenix, and then we'll call it a night. I'm looking forward to the Texan season. I'm really looking forward to the Texan season. I really like that Jalen Higgins.
That's another team that's relying on potential. They got the potential to do some damage. Let's just see. You've had it. And as long as they stay healthy and do the progression that most teams do that they've been making, they'll definitely get out of the first round this year, no matter who they play. And we'll see.
I like Jalen Noah. I like Jalen Higgins. I like those two receivers they took. Wow. And I like the Woody Marks, the running back they took in the 4th round from USC.
Yeah, but if Chubb healthy and Mixon healthy, he rarely going to see the field. He's good.
If both of those two would stay healthy, I agree.
Yeah, if them two healthy, he rarely going to see the field.
I agree. If they stay healthy. Yeah. I like the safety they took in the 6th round, Jalen Reed. I like him. He's
they drafted well lately the last few years. You know, can't complain. Texans have
the Texans took another Davis Mills in the 6th round, Graham Mertz. That's your Davis Mills guy. He remind me of Mills. All right. Oh, I was right. Phoenix took the guy that I wanted the Rockets to take at 10, the center out of Duke. The center out of Duke goes to Phoenix. So Phoenix get them a starting center or a backup center, whatever. I wanted this guy, but I didn't think he'd be on the board at 10.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still on the board. So that's a good trade for Phoenix. They get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and they get the boy out of Duke, the 7'2" center out of Duke. That's a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, he's good wherever he went. The Rockets could have took him and been okay. Then you wouldn't have had to sign Adams. So, but you'd already signed him. I
guess they didn't think he would be on the board at 10. He was not projected to be on the board at 10.
But that's the beauty of a draft. It's not an exact science.
Right. All right, guys. We threw 10 picks. Anything else? Final word, Cole?
No. I'm sorry that we did not get a chance to have consistency. Jeff, I lost my wallet in Minneapolis, but they found it. And I'm just now getting kind of my plans together to get back down there and get it. So I have to jump around. And so our next date is the 11th.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
How about a word from my sponsor before we go off the air?
A-Rocket Moving and Storage, a proud sponsor of this show. Well, you guys know the drill, and hopefully everybody listening knows. Located at 3401 Quarter, A-Rocket Moving and Storage, a full-service moving company with residential, commercial, and we have a 62,000 square foot warehouse, climate control, and we're able to store your items, pack them, come out to your residence, give you a survey, give us a call, 713-748-6024. Ask for me, Philip Green, or DeAndre Sam, second generation owner. A-Rocket Moving and Storage has been in business since 1959. Nestled in the heart of 3rd Ward off of 288 Yellowstone. Come by and give us a visit, or give us a call, or check out our website, arocket.com.
Peace and power.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, guys, I'm going to send a video.
Okay.
If everybody wants one.
Yeah, for sure. Jeff, be careful, be safe, Carl. Be careful, be safe going to Minneapolis. See you when you get back.
Thank you,
All
brother.
right. Take care, guys.
All right, y'all take care.
All right.